Hey folks, this is Lohim from Tennessee, Georgia, Prepper and Survivalist Chapter. This video is going to focus on knife, close quarter type tools that you might need. I'm not going to show you any training right now, but a little bit about my background. I've been doing martial arts for 30 years, 10 years of law enforcement, been in Desert Storm, been in the military for a few years, even done some bounty hunting. So I understand real fighting and people up in your face, and you have to control that. So, but other than that, what we're going to talk about is knife, understanding knife. Now, a lot of people get knives. You know, they get all kinds of knives. You can get them at the flea market. You can get them anywhere. But what's a good knife? It's a sharp knife. That's good enough for me. Do I have to spend $100 on it? No. $10 is good enough for me if it holds up. Now, there are some blades made better, you know, quality steel from K-bars to whatever. But you also need something, you know, reasonable that you can afford. And a blade is a lot tougher than someone's skin and body. And it's a very nasty way to go. And can you really use one of these? That's the catch. Everybody likes to collect swords. I can, you know, samples of swords. Maybe you can look like Miss Shawn on The Walking Dead, you know. There's okay to learn how to use these things, but it's an obvious weapon, which I've done also, okay? But when you do want to get a hold of different various blades from small, medium, and large, get training from somebody. And my background from this is, is from the Filipino martial arts, traditional systems that cover the katana, the Japanese type stuff. But you need to have training to use those knives. Of course, it don't take much to cut somebody and stab somebody, but also have some way of understanding the dangers of the knife, because the more you know how to use it, the more you're going to respect it. Everybody respects the gun. Everybody always respects that. You know, we know what the power is of the gun, because this is the Glock 22, 40 caliber Generation 2. But it just, we understand this. There's a lot of videos on these, and I may do some more of those later. But one thing about the blades, if you don't have to, you got to still understand the dangers that it can be taken from you and used back on you. There's plenty of videos on YouTube talking about the knife. But I am going to cover a couple of things before this video is over. Now, if you walk around with one of these, it's an obvious weapon. Obvious weapon. If you walk around one of these, seen enough zombie movies, people are going to understand, well, you must be a zombie killer or something. But the machete is a common outdoor tool. So it's a tool and can be used for self-defense. I'm just going to show you a couple of things that's boring looking. A standard screwdriver. A big, decent screwdriver. Don't file it down. Don't duct tape it. Don't put no special handle on it. It shows modification, and it's an obvious weapon. But if you just leave it alone, and it's just a tool in the toolbox, and you have to use it, and you're covered, legally, if you have to deal with that. Okay? Another thing, here's a hammer. We've seen this in The Walking Dead, one of the characters, hitting zombies and stuff. But I'm not talking about them. But hammer's a heavy weapon. It can be used very efficiently if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay? The one thing about knives, a lot of people collect knives, go to the flea market. But if you want to learn how to use them, get knives that are training knives. These are made out of aluminum, and they're not sharp, and we can take turns cutting each other and doing techniques without holding back. Aluminum blades are commonly in the martial art world, especially in the Filipino, Indonesian world, in the Kali, Eskrima, Arnis, and all those kind of systems. But the knife, if you want to train in it, you need to get knives that you can train with, because, and then we'll have the other ones on standby if we ever have to use them. But you can collect all the knives you want. You can have a wall full of swords. But if you don't know how to use them, they're just decoration. But I'm going to give you a couple of ideas when it comes to swords and knives. Everybody knows the neck area. Everybody knows that's the #1 area that people want to cut, because there's 2 major arteries there. You can bleed out in a matter of seconds. Okay, be careful of the armpits. There's arteries there. Inside the femoral, inside between the legs. Understand that. But when somebody's using a knife, we'll use forward grip, reverse grip is the two common things. And then another, more of a Filipino, is just sport it with the thumb on the back of the blade. But I'm just going to show you a drill that people can do just to learn how to move. And keeping our hand up like we were just boxers, it's the same thing. The Filipinos were doing this way before us. Okay, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 upper areas, 2 lowers, and straight thrusts. Okay, everybody can think in their mind that they know how to use a knife, and then there's actually doing it. Okay, but this is just simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get funk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Real simple. Then if you want to go reverse grip, we always put our thumb on top. Unless you got a guard, it don't matter. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can variate numbers. There's numbering systems all over the place for this kind of stuff. There's even videos out there. But just because you buy a video doesn't mean you know what you're doing. You need to get somebody that's already been there, done that, and then the videos will help you later, but not in the beginning. Okay, but remember, knife is nasty, it's dangerous, and it doesn't run out of bullets. Guns do. A guy with a good knife guy, you'll never see him coming. He's going to get you before you can even get your gun out. Okay, unless your gun's out ready and he's up on, that's the only way you're going to stop him. A good professional is not going to expose what they have. They're going to keep it well concealed. In most knife fights are ambushes. They're not going to pull it out and show it to you, and then they're going to come after you. Okay, and if they do that, they're stupid anyway. So remember, knife of all kinds, you need a training blade to really train. Don't get fantasy knives and fantasy swords that you buy for 20 bucks at the flea market. All that does, you're just wasting your money. Unless you just want it for decoration, that's cool. Yes, you can still hit somebody with it and cut and stick somebody with it. That's okay. It's a good throwaway. But get something that if you want something to survive and rely on, that's going to save your life, don't get garbage. Okay, don't get garbage. Okay, and then you can get a little bitty neck knives that are concealable. Real concealable. Okay, this is kind of magnetic, it pops right out. All you need is just a little bit of 1/16 of an inch cut. You don't need no big butcher knife and big Bowie knives that hang all the way down your leg. People that walk around and say, I think they got some other problems they're kind of covering up for. Okay, it ain't no reason to walk with some giant knife. Yeah, I know it looked kind of cool to have machetes back here, pulling it out, looking all cool. But then there's the real world. Okay, but everyday stuff, a common pocket knife, your folding knife, your keys, tools that's laying around, just in case you just don't have something you want to have at the moment. Find something and use it. One last thing, sticks are everywhere. You can use your tire iron inside your car, for impact weapon. Also learn how to use that too. Same drill I can show you with a knife. It's like head, ribs, solar plex. Head, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing, same movements, longer range. The stick hits all the bones. It's common knowledge in this world, in my world. And then the knife cuts all the soft areas. Okay? And then you know that, and the bad guy may know that, and that's why you have to be well trained to fight back against that. And if I'm down to using a knife and a stick, I must be out of bullets, or something went wrong. I lost the guns, there's some, and then it might get down to no weapons at all, just regular old mano. Need to get training in that too. So, hope you got some information out of this video. It's a little longer than normal, but for more information, go to my website connected with this video. Thanks.